Hello guys and welcome back to another video, and today we'll be looking at a scenario where the Middle East united in 2023. So first things first, and obviously this would never happen in real life, you could never get the Turks and the Iranians, the Israelis and the Iranians, the Israelis and the Egyptians, the Israelis and everyone else in this area to work together. And there are many issues, like some that may or may not be over here, some that may or may not be over here, and some that may just consist of many people hating each other over here. But today we're going to be looking aside all of that and just poofing that out of existence. That no longer happens, as we want this new Middle Eastern empire to thrive and we want it to win. So of course this is a massive country. I mean, if you just put it over the United States, it is way larger than you'd think. I mean, yeah, it already looks large on the map. It is super huge. But let's go and begin, as they're going to be making some annexations. These are not political annexations, these are wars. But it's the Caucasus, like mountain range countries besides Russia. They do not stand a chance against this new Middle Eastern superpower. Global influence wise, so much oil. And I mean, seriously, when you think of the Middle East, tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Probably a desert. Probably not a bunch of people flaunting money while immigrants, well, not immigrants, but just people who came here to work, doing work. People from like India, from Pakistan, from Bangladesh. Yeah. Well, all the people who were born there in places like Qatar, rich. Super rich. So yeah, think of that what you want, but it's true, and the Middle East has just expanded. Where are they going to go from here? Well, they're going to take Eritrea and Djibouti to have full control of both the entrance and the exit of the Red Sea, which will help them a lot with their global influence. This will basically just give them control over a lot of the trade between Europe and Asia, not that they already didn't, having control of the Suez Canal, along with oil, like just oil, so much oil. But yeah, here, incredibly powerful country. They're going to be posing a massive threat on the global stage. Where are they going to go from here? Well, they're going to continue to pick off any weak countries that surround them. The next unlucky contestant is going to be Turkmenistan, of course. And I mean, just Turkmenistan. I mean, yeah, Turkmenistan's gone. I mean, this Middle Eastern country is an incredibly powerful global power. I mean, if I had to list them somewhere, I'd probably put them up there closing in on the United States or China. Obviously not that high. Those two countries are ahead of them, but they're not too far away. They are not too far away. In terms of size, they're up there as well. Obviously, I don't know the exact statistics, but I can get an average either just by looking at this or if you've seen any of the videos. But let's go and continue, as they're going to be expanding even more. And that is going to be a little thing called Turks in the region, wanting to take advantage of this newfound power and expand themselves. How are they going to do that? Well, I'm sorry, Greeks, but the Turks have a large majority in the country, and now you're about to die. This is also in the interest of all Middle Eastern nations, not just the Turks, who have a... How would this even work? Would one country conquer the rest? Would there be like a representative from each country? Or would they all just act like one big country and ignore all the diversity and whatnot? I don't really know. I couldn't tell you. As I said, this is completely and totally impossible in the world. So there's no way of actually knowing. But we're going to assume that there's a representative system from each country, and Turkey going the majority here. With that, their next goal is going to be to take full control of surrounding bodies of water, to take control of the first they're just going to go ahead and do that and that and that and that. Afghanistan, just terrible political situation. Of course, they are known as the graveyard of empires for a reason, but we're just going to assume that the Middle East, having contact with them and being buffed a bit for this video, especially when it comes to keeping stability in regions, we're going to assume that they can somehow do that. Because if I don't, then, I mean, in this video, the US is just going to come down here, get all that oil, and puppet them all. Could the USA defeat the Middle East? All of them combined? Maybe even not. If they could make a landing, then probably, but without it, no. Without it, no, they could not. And with all of this expansion, what the Middle East is really doing here in Central Asia is expanding their size. They're now probably, here, let's check. If we go ahead, and I'm sure there's easier ways of doing this, but if we put them over the United States, they are a massive country here. They can easily rival the US. How are they going to be expanding this? Well, they're going to say, Bulgaria, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, and you're mine. With that, Serbia says, no, you're mine, and they say, no, you're mine. And now they have a bunch of influence in Europe, which the Europeans really don't like, but they set up a border over here with Romania, Hungary, and Croatia, who takes control of Bosnian affairs. And now the Middle East is stopped, as they are powerful, but they cannot take on all of Europe and the United States combined, who make an alliance against them. And with Serbia gone, it really is just the United States and all Western European countries, such as the UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, etc. Actually, no, not etc. Those are all of them. But yeah, the Middle East just expanded heavily into Europe, and they're only going to continue their expansion, as their next point of attack is going to be in Africa, where they annex Somalia, taking advantage of the not so desirable situation there. And they now decide, hey, Ethiopia, I don't know if I want to go to war with you. So how about we just give you a bunch of money and promise you land out of Sudan, and then you give us a bunch of land. And Ethiopia, knowing that they could not win if they tried, agrees. So this border is way too thick, but it'll just have to do. Give up a bunch of northern land and a bit of land on the old Somali border. So yeah, this is both for their own national security and because of promises of further land and a whole lot of oil money. As I said, this country can pretty much just throw it around. They now hold like the 10 largest. They are building towers left and right. The Jeddah Tower, done. Obviously, the Dubai Creek Tower, almost done. I mean, the Burj Khalifa, already the largest building, done. Try and guess how that was all paid for oil money. See, if you didn't know, that's how it works. And they just took a bunch of land out of Ethiopia, expanding their influence in the Horn of Africa. Where are they going to go from here? Well, they're actually going to keep their promise, go after Sudan with Ethiopia. And, I mean, Ethiopian troops are going to begin to push into Sudan, but this is mostly desert and seen as not effective and not important. Whereas the two Middle Eastern pushes are seen as very important. One, of course, down the Nile River, and one down the Sudanese coast. The coastline is fully captured, as, yeah, the Middle East here has the full advantage. And they also have specially trained desert divisions. Saudi Arabia, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is fully correct, but I heard it somewhere that they have like 0 rivers and 0 lakes, and that they're the largest country with those conditions. So they definitely have some people used to it. And I know Sudan still looks like they have a lot of land, but with most of the Nile and their coastline gone, a majority of their populated regions are as well. So yeah, that's why Sudan's already gone. That promised land to Ethiopia, surprisingly, is actually given. A good amount of southern Sudan. Once again, not very important, but Ethiopia's options here were very limited, as their only other one was die. With that, the Middle East is going to be taking about half of what's left of Sudan, including the entirety of the coastline, as I said earlier, they want, actually, I don't know if I said this earlier, but their goal here is to gain full control of all surrounding body of water sources of water, let's just say that. And their main strategy to do this right now is just expand. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They have expanded and taken all the land that they want, either by force, through wars, through just some political events, or with money. So yeah, the Middle East here, taking a good amount of Sudan. Money-wise, this isn't insane, and land-wise, it's pretty good. And population-wise, it's going to help. But yeah, they now have pretty much full control of the Persian Gulf and of the Red Sea. Influence. This country. Insane. I cannot mention that enough. But where can they really go from here? Well, they can continue to go into Africa, and they actually will. They're going to unite with Libya and Tunisia, who both agree to join them. But sadly for them, France decides that they want to go colonial and annex Algeria, And since they can't kill France, they're going to be stopped here, but that is still a good amount of expansion to Africa. So yeah, that is just not great for the Middle East that France did that, but you know what, they're fine. They're fine. France might do some more expanding in the future, but for now, the Middle East is happy. They have expanded greatly into Africa, into Europe, and they have just one more country they're going to annex. Once again, not even a war worth showing. It is annexing Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan is by no means the smallest country, and of course, I mean, potassium as well. National anthem, love it. I don't even know if it's the real one, but I do hope it is. It's definitely the meme one. But yeah, Kazakhstan here, very large country. It's in the top 10 actually, and it is going to help the Middle East just grow in size. They have probably at this point surpassed that of the United States and that of China. Have they surpassed Canada? I don't know, but I don't think they've surpassed Russia yet. You'd need to combine both Canada and the United States to surpass Russia, and I don't think the Middle East is that large. They're incredibly large, but not bigger than Russia. Although they do share a big border, and honestly, I see war between the Middle East and Russia here very, very soon. They'll most likely have some kind of dispute over southern Russia, and that is going to lead the Middle East to expand even more. But for this video, I think we're going to be done here. I'd just like to show you one more time how massive this country is. Like, put it over Europe, it's bigger than the entire continent. Put it over the US, definitely larger. Put it over Russia, it's close. Like I said, war with Russia is probably going to happen eventually. The Middle East would win that and take some more land out of southern Russia. Something looking like that. But with that, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to end it here, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.